Hey y'all, I'm back with another 12 days of DIY, and this is day 10 where I'm going to show you how I created some fun little clips and clothespins for your advent calendar, for December daily, for Project Life, or for whatever you want to use it for. I'm starting with some wood veneer shapes, although I'll use some other materials here in a second, and I'm simply using my pigment ink pads to just add color right on top of these. For the white one, I'm going to add 2 layers, and I'll show you how I do that here in a second. But for these colorful ones that are Avery Elle inks, I don't actually have to add a second layer. These inks are great inks. Not that Hero Arts isn't, um, but the white, probably the fact that it is white, I just had to add a second layer. So both of these brands of pigment inks I love. I also use Memento Luxe inks, which I know are really good as well. I just only have one, I think. Maybe I have two. But I used this lime green color to add right on top of the speech bubble in that arrow. So for the coffee cups, I'm going to add one more layer, and then I'm going to set those aside. And I actually start to stamp on them, and then I realize that I probably need to let them dry a little bit more. I'm going to take this stamp set called Clark's ABCs, I believe it's by Lawn Fawn, and I'm going to add a number right on top. And that's just to show you that you can use this into your December daily for days, or you can use it on an advent calendar of some sort, or for a birthday, like if it's somebody's 12th birthday or somebody's 5th birthday or whatever, what have you, you can clip it onto little fun little treat bags or their gift. So these are really versatile. Like you can use them um, for a ton of different projects. And if you have them in your stash and you just have a ton of different numbers, then you can just pull them out when you need them. I'm gonna, for this net, so you just saw me punch some shapes from glitter, and I'm gonna show you how I put those together here in a second. But first I grabbed a quick little piece of white paper. I'm just gonna cover that with washi, and I'm gonna show you how you can get some fun little shapes, punched shapes from this sheet with washi on it. I'm going to pull that up. I'm not going to fold the washi back because it doesn't really matter. You're not going to be able to see the back anyway. And so I'm just going to get a few different shapes, some circles, and I think I used hearts. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it with some Christmas colors at this point. It kind of made me laugh when I was doing this because I put the green glitter and then I put the gray washi with stars on it, and then I put the red and white striped. And then I started punching these and I realized it looked more like July 4th than it did Christmas. And so I actually didn't use the ones that looked more like, well, I don't want to say I didn't use them. I did punch some and I just set them aside. But for the sake of this video, I used the ones that looked more Christmassy so that you could get the idea for the advent calendar or for your December daily or whatever. So here's where I'm going back to stamp those. I mentioned earlier that I should have let that first one dry. And so I'm just picking random numbers, and then I'm going to use my Versamark, is it Versamark? Versafine ink in black onyx, and I'm going to stamp right on top of those wood veneer pieces that are colored in those inks. And then there I stamped right on top of a piece of cork, but I realized pretty quickly that, well, first of all, I stuck it down on paper and I shouldn't have done that. But I also wanted it to be a little thicker, and so I added the same size piece of cork right on the back. So I just did the cork back to back and then stamped the number 7 on it. And for this one, for this coffee cup, I'm going to stamp right on top of it with a heart stamp. And that heart stamp came from an Avery Elle stamp set. And then now I'm going to start to piece everything together. So I have these really neat stained, I just love the color of them, clothespins from Michaels. And they came in, oh, goodness, I don't even know how many came in that pack. I would be willing to say like 25 or 30. And I found this little deer chipboard, and that's something I didn't mention earlier. I have so many of those 12 by 12 sheets of chipboard, and there's like little pieces here and there that I haven't used and that I won't ever use. And I found that little deer and I thought that was so cute. And I found a enamel dot and I just put it right on the nose, and you'll see it a close up here in a second. But I just thought that turned out super cute. On these glitter shapes, I am just simply showing that you don't have to use stamping, especially if you're not much of a stamper. You can use stickers right on top. And if it's not sticking very well, use some sort of like liquid glue and that should help. Again, I'm using a chipboard shape or chipboard sticker that I probably would have never used or pulled out to use had I not been doing this project. And then I'm going to add the other pieces right on top as well. I'm switching between clothespins and paper clips because I want to show you, like, if you don't like the bulk, you can use um, paper clips instead. But you probably need bigger paper clips than the ones that I'm using. These are just the ones that I have in my stash. But if you have bigger paper clips, I think it'll work better. And then you can use the Krylon gold pen to color that. And I think I've seen Craft and Kate do that, maybe with her staples before. And that's kind of where I got that idea. And then lastly, I'm going to add that coffee cup right on top. And then I'm just going to kind of go through these. I'm going to actually slow this down, but I'm going to go through these and show you how they turned out. So I hope you guys love them, and let me know if you have any questions, and have a great rest of the week.